I think Scott Pilgrim versus the World needs no explanation. Like I see that as being, like I can see
Yeah.
you in the movie actually, or the video game or anything. You could be like one of the DLC characters in like the Scott Pilgrim versus the World video game,
Yo, that
right?
would be awesome. I would cry. I'm not I could die happy at that point. I'm not even kidding. I gotta wrestle more first, but that's
Right.
like bucket list.
Hey guys, welcome back to another interview here on Toned In Entertainment today. I hope you're ready to level up on this podcast because we have not just my hero, but your hero, Airica Demia. How are you doing, Airica?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Now,
Great.
what got my attention to reach out to you for this podcast was definitely the whole superhero persona that you have going on there. Like I saw one of your videos on Facebook, and I
Hmm.
always appreciate somebody who goes just above and beyond to really put a lot of effort into what they're doing. And I did see that. And from there, I
Hmm.
started watching more videos of just like that 16 episodes that you have done. It was really cool. Like you put a lot of production work. Where
Yeah.
did your hero, where did it all begin?
Well, the persona, I guess you could say, stemmed from an anime called My Hero Academia. That's kind of what I base my whole like character on. And like me wanting to be a wrestler definitely came from watching my dad wrestle as a kid.
Okay, so your dad was like your big influence to get into professional wrestling.
Yeah, definitely. He started wrestling technically before I was born. Um, and I've just been watching him literally, like I watched him for my entire childhood. And he was like my hero as a kid. And I was like, I want to be like him because he would always make me smile and like just put on these super entertaining matches. And I was like, I want to be like him. I want kids to look at me the way that I look at him. So, yeah.
Now, speaking of kids, wanting to you want them to look up to you. I have seen like
Mhm.
I did see one Facebook post where it says, you're the first professional wrestler that my daughter has liked in a very long time. It was a picture of you and like a younger girl. How does something like that make you feel? Already becoming somebody's like favorite wrestler.
Yeah, so I saw that and honestly, I almost started crying because I was like, this means the world to me. This is exactly like what I'm doing this for. I'm doing this because I want to give kids like somebody to look up to, someone that they can relate to, because sometimes it can be kind of hard to find somebody like that because like I've always been considered like a weird kid, like because I like a bunch of random things and I'm a little bit of a nerd and I just it was kind of hard to find somebody to really relate to. So I want to be that for people who have trouble finding a hero, I guess.
Why do you think it is that people that like nerdy stuff? I love nerdy stuff. I mean, I've got all kinds of Funko Pops and toys and action figures back there. Why are we considered weirdos?
I don't know, man. I think I in my personal opinion, people who don't like that stuff tend to be kind of boring. That's just me though. Like no offense if you don't like that stuff. I'm not saying you're necessarily boring, but everybody I've known that doesn't like that stuff tends to be pretty boring. That's just
Okay.
me.
I absolutely agree. Now, speaking of like action figures, I did see that somebody actually like created like a custom figure of you as
Yeah.
well too.
Uh-huh. So the people that did all of my dad actually just handed it to me.
Oh, okay.
Uh, the people that made all of my artwork, like I like my dad pays for all the artwork that I get done. They were trying something out and they were like, I'm just gonna make one of you so I can test it out. We'll send it to you for free. So yeah, they did that and it's really cool.
I mean, it looks like it was like from a professional factory, right?
Hmm. I think it was all handmade too, which is like the coolest part.
Now, speaking of your dad being your hero as far as a wrestler, what did he think when you said this was the journey that you wanted to take?
So when I was 7 is when I told him I wanted to try, and he was like, "Absolutely not. No." He was like, "You are way too clumsy. You are gonna get hurt." And then when I turned 14, he was like, "You know what? I think I'll let you try it." So I got in the ring. He taught me a little bit of the basics, and he was like, "All right, you still want to do this?" And I was like, "Absolutely." So here we are.
What did it feel like the first time you ever got a pinfall victory?
Um, Actually, my first victory was a few days ago. uh, it was exhilarating. It was so exciting. I was like, "Oh my gosh!" Like I've lost several times, so it was kind of shocking to actually win.
Now your persona leaves, you open to, there's cosplay wrestling, which is really cool.
Mhm.
So you could be a cosplay character. Somebody could cosplay
Yeah.
as you. Who would you like to cosplay in
Ooh.
wrestling?
In wrestling, like a wrestler or like a like character.
Well, I'm always thinking like I love these cosplay wrestlings where you see Skeletor wrestle Super Mario in the ring.
Okay.
Like who would you like want to take on character?
So my gear is based off of Deku from My Hero Academia. However, the one cosplay I've been wanting to do for a really long time, and I probably wouldn't do this for a wrestling match, I would probably do like a spin on it, is Zelda. So I'm about to spoil a game. If y'all haven't played Ocarina of Time, I'm really sorry. But there's a character in it.
I was gonna say
His
you've
name
had
is
enough time to play it by now.
Yeah, yeah. His name is Sheik, but in the end, it turns out to be Princess Zelda. And I would probably do Sheik instead, since I do want to be Zelda, but she wears a dress because she's a princess. I'd probably end up doing Sheik instead.
Okay. Now, speaking of video games, I've checked out some of your vlogs that you've done, and I've seen that you go to arcades, which I think is awesome because I grew up in arcades, and I saw you throw down
Yeah.
some like Killer Instinct, some X-Men. Um, is that something you like to do on a regular basis, or are you more of just a gamer at home? Like, where do you fit in that video game world?
Honestly, that's the first arcade I had ever been to in my life. I absolutely loved it though, and I really wish I had more close to me. But I do play a lot of video games at home, uh, with my dad sometimes.
What did you think about like actually, like we play a lot of online games, so you're always playing somebody that you can't see, but like having maybe that physical interaction and that smack talk, like right next to you while you're playing video games.
Personally, I think it's way more fun to have someone actually next to you because I did this off camera, but I played with one of my friends and I was kicking his butt and I was just yelling at him the entire time. It was so funny. It was a blast.
What video games are you throwing down on like a regular basis?
Um, regular basis, I usually play the Zelda games and sometimes I play Fallout or this horror game called The Forest. Those are like my main ones. Um, yeah, sometimes I play Animal Crossing too, but I don't know.
Okay. Let me ask you about that 16 episode series you did on YouTube. Now,
Yeah.
a lot of production went into that. Like,
hmm
was it something that you and maybe your dad scripted out from the beginning? Did you shot sheet everything? Like, I mean, I want to give you guys a lot of props on that because I'm somebody that does video production for a living. So I see all the cutaways, all the angles, all the POV shots. Like, how much work and time went into it? And what did you think once it finally wrapped up?
So my dad was the main one that was in charge of that because I was like maybe 14, 15 at the time when we were filming it. So I had no idea what I was doing. He was the director, he was the editor, and all of that. But what? Who? Oh yeah, my dad's best friend also helped with directing a lot. Um, and he also played like the big villain that appeared at the end. Uh, so I would always like wait until he had them fully edited to watch them back, and I was like, we kind of look like superheroes. And he's like, yeah, that's the point. What do you mean? And I was like, well, yeah, but I like when I'm filming it, I don't really feel like that. But the all the editing and stuff, it makes me feel so cool and like it's just so different.
No, you guys really put a lot of production time into that, and it really did come out as if I'm being honest with you guys, like a professional production company put that
Hmm.
together. Like it's really well done. The special effects that are thrown in there, the just the script writing, the angles, the stuff. It's really well done. So major props to everyone involved in that project.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate that. My dad has the biggest smile on his face. He's chilling over there.
Oh, okay. Well, he did a great job in the series as well. The
Thank
Legend of
you.
Solar, right?
Yeah, it's solar, but
Solars. I'm sorry.
solar works too. It's okay.
Okay. Okay.
Everybody says solar. I'm not sure why. I was like, I thought, okay, cool. Like even my trainer says solar, and he just lets him get away with it because he's my trainer.
Right. Okay. Now, in your vlogs, it says, that you've had many ups and you've had many downs. What are some of the best ups?
Some of the best ups are definitely like when I can feel and see some of the progress that I have made throughout my training. Like at the beginning, I couldn't even like I could barely roll and stand up properly, but now like anytime I roll, it's just part of my like natural bodily movements at this point. Like it feels the same as walking because I've done it for so long. And like when I very first started training, we were taught to run the ropes a certain way. But then when I went to the academy, we were told that it was kind of dangerous and that we needed to like change it up a little bit. And it took me so long to get it, but now it's just muscle memory at this point. And I feel like that's such a huge thing. And cat, sorry, my cat is being a nuisance.
They don't understand that there's like professional business going on right
For real.
now.
He's trying to get in my closet. Okay. But yeah, some of the biggest ups is like I in the intro that I have for my vlog, like that footage is 3 years old now. Like the footage from the beginning. I'm like, I'm not even the same person anymore. It's so crazy. Like I look different, I act different, I talk different at this point too.
Now, when the first time you ever stepped into the squared circle to train, I mean, obviously you were watching your dad do it. What mindset did you go into becoming a professional wrestler? Like, what really went through your mind the first time you stepped through those ropes?
Well, I think the first time I stepped through the ropes, I was like, oh my gosh, I actually get to try this? What? This is crazy. Because he'd always told me no, because like he was like, no, you're too clumsy, you're gonna get hurt. I don't want you to get hurt. And like it is true. I am a very clumsy person. Once I step foot in a ring, I'm decently graceful and I'm good at not hurting myself. But once I step out, I'm like, I'm done. I don't know.
So you're most dangerous after the show, then?
Yes, 100%. Most
What?
of my dad's injuries happen outside of matches rather than in matches, and I'm
Which
kind
is
of the same way.
okay. What was the thing that made your dad finally change his mind to say, yes, go ahead and let's do this?
To be honest with you, I'm not sure. What made you change your mind?
Oh,
He said I needed something to focus on to keep me out of trouble.
okay. And has it worked then?
Yes, it has
Okay.
definitely worked. I don't, I'm not the kind of person that likes to party much, but even if I did, I wouldn't because wrestling is important to me. I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to get like, I don't want anything to get like mess me up as far as my career goes. So, yeah.
What would you say are some of the most, I don't want to say downs because I hate using that word, but what would you say are some of those challenges that you've had?
Some of the challenges I've had, well, I feel like this sounds bad, but being a girl in wrestling is a challenge because when I first started, most of the people that were training with me or training me, like not my dad, obviously, like he took me seriously, but the other people were like, she's 14. She's not gonna do this. I'm just gonna, we'll just show her stuff and she's just gonna leave. Look at me now, brother. Come on. I started saying brother as a joke, and now I say it unironically. So I'm a worker now, I guess.
It's just part of that vocabulary now.
Yeah. But uh another big challenge was in 2021, I actually fractured my pelvis. I went to do a bandera, which I'm not sure if a lot of people know what that is. It's where you're in the corner and then you like jump and like hop over the ropes. You're supposed to catch the rope on your way out. But my hands were sweaty and I slipped and I fell onto concrete and it like fractured my pelvis. However, I didn't know that I fractured my pelvis because I went to the hospital that night and they didn't see anything because the fracture was so small. So I kept training with a fractured hip. And then it got so bad that one time I did like a headlock takeover and I went to get up and it popped and it hurt so bad. I couldn't get up and I started crying and it was awful. Yeah, yeah, I pretty much had to start over at that point because like, ring rust and getting used to moving my body again and like I had gained a decent amount of weight because I had been sitting around not really able to do anything. I could barely walk, so that was like a big thing that I had to get over. And I lost pretty much all of the confidence that I had gotten by that point. So I had to gain that all back too. So it was just a big like that sucked. But we're good now. So
We're good. We
yeah.
keep the level of positivity. We'll conquer all.
Yeah.
Right. Now I'm down here in Miami, Florida, and I know you're up in the Carolinas.
Hmm.
So for us down here, like most of the wrestling matches probably have one women's match probably on the card. So
Hmm.
I know what you're saying with one of the reasons one of the toughest things being a woman is maybe there's only one booking for a show, like there's one match. Is that kind of the same way it's up there as well too?
Well, a lot of my matches, I've actually only had one real women's match. My other matches have been intergender. My first two were intergender scrambles, like I was the only girl in the match. And then my third match was I'm trying to think of the word, like I know that's what I'm saying. Like it was a mixed tag team match, but it was not a planned mixed tag team match. It was like I was supposed to wrestle one person, and then this tag team came out and they were like, "Yo, we're gonna wrestle you." And we were like, "Okay." So it kind of just happened. But yeah, most of my stuff has been intergender, except for the one that I just first got my first pinfall on.
Okay, so that's the way you're getting those I guess those reps in right now is through the
Yeah.
intergender matches. Okay. Who would be like an opponent you would love to face one day?
Hmm. Male or female?
Eh, it doesn't matter. I mean, the world is your oyster.
I would say I would love to face Alex Shelley.
Mm, okay.
100%. And as far as a girl goes, Maki Ito. I really
Okay.
like her. I like her a lot.
I like that you like really kind of like stepped outside of like a cliche
Yeah.
pick, you know?
Yeah. I feel like in WWE, I would really like to face Asuka.
Okay.
She's like one big wrestler that I really like. And Bailey too. I like her a lot.
Okay. I could see your hero versus Oscar. I think
Yeah.
that's a
That would be
very
so
colorful
cool.
match, right? It's a very colorful
Yeah.
match. Now I saw you guys actually. I mean, I want to compliment you guys on whoever you guys got your pictures done, like your promotional pictures, because they came out really killer. Like when I see you on a flyer for somewhere, and I see a bunch of other random people, you could tell like the quality of your
Yeah, it
photos
was
is
actually
superior.
it's actually Chris Downey who did our photos. Um he also did photos for other people at my academy too. There's Yeah, he's done a lot of WrestleCade and um AML too. He's a very talented photographer. He's done some at DPW also. Uh His editing and his camera and his lights are insane. The best promo pictures I've gotten done.
Yeah, because I saw the even the behind the scenes stuff that you put up on YouTube with the smoke coming up in the background, the lighting. It's so killer. Like it's super cool.
Yeah, that was actually a different photographer that we got done that time. And those were like a little video shoot, like a little package thing. I almost knocked over my candles. That would have been bad.
Oh, we've got the cat, we've got candles, we got fire, we got everything going. No,
Oh,
we're
I'm a
oh,
mess.
that's okay. You got a million things going on right now. Now, where do you see yourself maybe in like 5 years from now?
5 years, I hope to be signed, but if not, I will be traveling the world.
Okay. Is there any particular place you would love to go wrestle?
I know I want to go to Japan and realistically just anywhere and everywhere that has good wrestling. Um, where I would like to get signed would probably be WWE as of right now. AEW would be cool, but I'm shooting for WWE.
Right,
That's
that's
like,
kind of
sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
no, it's okay. I think I cut you off. I didn't mean to cut you off there. So
Nah, you're good.
that that's the goal. That's the pinnacle for you then.
Yeah, as of right now, that's like the big goal, the overall, like, this is where I want to go with my future.
So you can see your name on those bright lights of WrestleMania one day.
I hope so.
Yeah. I was gonna say, don't ever like. I mean, my advice is I've seen some of the ladies on the independents come up so quick, especially the past couple years with the emergence of AEW. Like I've had Layla Gray on the show a couple times. I've had Sky Blue. I've had Roxy. You know who's now Roxanne Perez, the NXT Women's Champion,
Wow.
is has I've interviewed all three of them, and they're like doing huge things, and it just like it. I don't want to say it happened overnight because I'm sure for them it didn't happen overnight, but it seemed like
Yeah.
one day they were wrestling in these smaller shows down
Hmm.
here in Florida or Texas or wherever they were, and then all of a sudden, boom, they're on TV. So definitely keep up the good work and keep up. Like it'll come, right?
Yeah, got to keep up the grind. Got to keep working hard.
Yeah. How do you keep up the energy level to do everything that you're doing and still focus all your attention on professional wrestling?
Lots of naps and lots of energy drinks.
Oh, okay. Is there a particular energy drink out there that you're consuming that maybe would love to sponsor you one day too?
There's a few that I really like. I usually like Ghosts and Alani Nutrition. Those are really good. I also drink a lot of coffee, so I'm
Okay,
drinking coffee right now.
okay. After a long day, then I gotta get you on here for the interview and everything. You need a little cafecito to keep you going.
Yep.
Oh, what's in the future for Airica Demia?
Oh boy. Hopefully lots of good stuff. I hope. Uh, I'm I'm not good at answering questions like that. Like there's like so much that goes through my head. It's like I want to do this. I want to do all of the independents if I can. And I want to go to Japan. I want to go to Stardom. I want to go to New Japan. And yeah, like I said, hopefully WWE, maybe AEW. Impact would be cool too.
Everybody, it seems like everybody, there's so much like finally, because I'm somebody that grew up, during the WCW eras in the 90s. And I grew up during the crazy time of awesome wrestling of ECW and WWE. And
Yeah.
and then it died out for so many years and it wasn't very good. And the resurgence of the indies and AEW and WWE and Impact, like it's crazy right now. And I feel like you're at the perfect spot to like, get the great training you need on the indies to really elevate yourself to that next level, hopefully.
Yeah. I got really lucky with finding the academy. Uh, a friend of my dad's, James Drake, actually was like, "Hey, I heard you're looking for a place to train. Y'all should check out the Palmetto Wrestling Academy with Ethan Case." And we were like, "Okay, we don't really have anything else to do," because this was in 2020 when everything had just shut down. So we were like chilling for a few months. It was not fun.
We don't want to remember those times, right?
No, absolutely
So
not. I was so depressed because I had just started training and then everything just shut down. And I was like, this is devastating. But we went to the academy in, what was it, July or August? July or August. And we met Ethan Case and we started training. I started off with one-on-one sessions with Ethan. And eventually I was like, hey, Dad, can we stay and watch one of the classes? So we stayed and watched one of the classes. And we both were just like, we really liked the way that Ethan taught students. So we were like, hey, Ethan, can we join the class? And he was like, absolutely. So we joined the class, and like most of the students that I started with are no longer there because not everybody is like able to stick with it. As of right now, there are 3 people left from my class out of 20. Their names are, well, me, obviously. I got Moody and Florida Man. But like honestly, if it wasn't for Ethan and if it wasn't for all of my classmates, I wouldn't, and my dad too, I wouldn't be here. Sorry. Jeez. I would not be here. I love all of my classmates and I love my trainer so much. And I highly recommend if you're in the South Carolina area. I drive personally, me and my dad drive 2 hours there and then 2 hours home every time we train. So I highly recommend that you join the academy. It is highly worth it. Everybody there are lovely people. Ethan is a very caring person. And also, if it wasn't for Ethan, I wouldn't be who I am today because he doesn't just teach wrestling. He doesn't just teach like entertainment. He teaches you how to be a better person and the best version of yourself. Like, I know that sounds generic, but it is true. I love that man to death. I'm so long-winded. I'm so sorry.
Right. No, it's all good. Now, you said 3 out of 20. So
Yep.
if I'm not a great mathematician, but that sounds like 1.5%, if I'm correct, that survived.
I
Or
have no idea the
10%.
percentage. I never thought about
10%.
that.
I don't know, 10% maybe. What made the 3 of you, or I mean, I don't want you to speak for the other 2 people, but what made you be one of those 3 people that said, I can do this, I can stick this out, over the other people who just didn't finish?
Drive, tolerance, and patience. Why did you laugh?
Patience.
Anyway,
Why is that something that people say that you lack, is patience in?
no,
No.
my dad says I like patience. But however, there were a lot of people that were like, I can't stick this out for so long. I need to like start wrestling. Ethan was like, absolutely not. You are not ready. And he's not going to let us go if we're not ready because he doesn't want untrained, unsafe people like out on the indie circuit because it's not safe. It's not good for anybody. And he wants us to know how to keep ourselves safe when someone else isn't fully trained. Like, I'm not saying other places don't fully train people. I'm saying like sometimes they just rush it a little bit. And Ethan's like always makes sure like if you're not ready, you're not going.
What would you say to people that, they're watching, maybe they've seen your wrestling matches on YouTube or whatnot, and they haven't come out to see you live at one of your shows? What are they missing out on? What is the experience that they're missing out?
Uh, well, okay. Thanks, Dad.
All right.
First off,
we've
I
got
have
to
a
plug
mask
it.
now. That's a big thing. Um, Realistically, I just feel like there's a huge difference between watching someone's match on YouTube and watching it in person because personally, one of my favorite parts about being a wrestling fan is interacting with the wrestlers and cheering and booing and clapping. I don't enjoy it as much when I watch it on TV because I can't interact with it. I also have ADHD, so that that doesn't help anything.
I think we all
But
have a little bit of ADHD at this point.
at this
2023.
point,
I think
I have
television
it
has
pretty
got
bad.
yeah, okay. Okay.
Like my leg is bouncing. I don't know if like my body is moving a lot, but my leg has been bouncing almost the whole time. I'm really fidgety, but I can hardly pay attention when it's on TV. But when I'm in person, I'm either fully studying matches or I'm fully interacting as a fan, which that's something about like a lot of trainees and wrestlers that I'm like kind of confused about is like we all started because we were wrestling fans. Why would you stop cheering for your friends like at shows? Like why? So like that's one of my favorite things is supporting my friends and cheering or booing them when they're supposed to be booed.
When you say study in matches, like what matches have you gone back and studied that really maybe you've learned some stuff from?
Um, Occasionally I'll go back and study some of my dad's old matches. Like I don't do that a lot because the quality's kind of because it was like it was the early 2000s, so you know, camera. Like, hey, chill. It was like not necessarily early 2000s. It was like 2019 and to all the way back to I don't know. Yeah, we have bad cameras. That's. I was trying to be nice, but there was bad cameras because it was a really tiny indie promotion. Couldn't afford good stuff. But my brain just can't handle like bad quality because it's like this isn't what it's supposed to look like. What is happening? Because ADHD. So
Right. Don't feed you no like stuff with the like the lines going through it or the pixelates.
yeah, it's not quite that bad. It's just a
Okay.
little fuzzy.
Okay. I wasn't trying to say like 1960. I wasn't going there. But I know what you're talking about. The quality has advanced so much in the past couple of years that like
Yeah.
yeah, the new your generation has everything like crystal clear right now where we didn't have it like as good.
Yeah. Yeah, it a lot of it was just the camera was already not that great, but then it was transferred and transferred and transferred, and it kind of just got worse as it went on. And then it got uploaded to YouTube, which sometimes YouTube lowers the quality too. So it's kind of just like potato.
Yeah, it used to back in the days. I know some of my first ones before I even started this channel, I uploaded some stuff, and it would just like the quality was so bad. Like you shoot this nice video, and it was all pixelated, and at
Yeah,
least now you've got they've got their act together, and everything's in 1080 and looking good now.
yeah.
Now I see a
Um,
lot of like pop culture stuff going on here. I love to ask people because like my favorite movie of all time is The Goonies. I want to know what your favorite movie of all time is.
oh, so I have two that I usually like to name off, and that's Scott Pilgrim versus the World and Back to the Future. Three specifically, the third one.
Wow, part three, no way. I've never heard anybody say part three was their favorite movie of Back to the
Yeah, it's mine
Future.
and my dad's favorite.
Really? Oh, wow. Because I think like I always feel like one is like an absolute like 10 out of 10, like master. Like it's in
Yeah,
my
I love
top
that
five,
movie, but the
right?
third one is my favorite.
But the cowboy, the Western one, that's the one we're talking
Yep,
about.
it's just
Whoa.
so different. It's like, wow, this is so cool.
Wow. Because I hear a lot of people always say part one, and some people say part two because for those of us that grew up before, was it 2015 or 18,
Yeah,
whenever
it
they
was
go to,
2015.
right? So like the hoverboards, like we grew up thinking we were going to have hoverboards in 2015. We never got the hoverboards,
Yeah,
still.
got a variation, but it's not the same.
It's not what he has in that
Not at
movie
all.
at
I don't know
all.
why they call them hoverboards. They have wheels.
They have wheels, they're not hovering. Michael J. Fox was hovering in those movies. Like,
Exactly. He was in the air.
yeah, we don't have that. So why part three? I know it's the Western. Like I'm really, really intrigued as to why part three is one of your favorite movies of all time.
Well, I feel like one of the reasons is because like when I watched it, I knew in my head that it was my dad's favorite, and I feel like that just made me love it just a little bit more. And just I don't know, it was just so different from the other ones, and I really like really old-timey stuff. Like I might not seem like the type to like old-timey stuff, but I love old-timey stuff. So like westerns and just like really old movies are like really interesting to me.
Yeah, I think Scott Pilgrim versus the World needs no explanation. Like I see that as being like I could see
Yeah.
you in the movie actually, or the video game or anything. You could be like one of the DLC characters. It's like the Scott Pilgrim versus the World video game,
Yo, that
right?
would be awesome. I would cry. I'm not, I could die happy at that point. I'm not even kidding. I gotta wrestle more first, but that's
Right.
like bucket list.
We'll get you as a DLC character for one of these. I could see that happening. Wow, that's
That
awesome.
would be so cool. I
Right.
would I would nerd out so hard for that. I'm not
Right.
even kidding.
Okay. Okay. Well, we're putting it out in the universe today. You know, we're putting all these
Yes,
good things out in the universe. Okay.
absolutely.
Is there anything else we need to know going forward? What's going on with you coming up?
Um, you mean like as far as bookings and stuff like
Bookings,
that?
projects you got going on? I mean, you're going to continue the vlogs, I'm guessing. I think you have like 30 vlogs out right now already. Um,
Something like that.
right, and they're pretty lengthy as well too. So you put a lot of time, a lot of effort in. So the vlogs keep coming up. Any cool projects? Any wrestling matches? What's going on coming up?
Um, I should have a new vlog coming out tomorrow, actually, now that I
Okay.
think about it. My dad edits them for me because he's really good at it and I'm not. uh, okay. I think my next booking is April 1st. I have no idea what the match is, but and then I have another one the next week, April 8th. That one is Pro Wrestling Turbo, and I cannot tell you who it is. I was about to, so I'm glad you did that. I'm glad you told me
That's okay.
that.
Well, if people want to find out, where can they follow you at to see what's going on?
Oh man, can you go get my thingy? Yeah. I have a little thingy that has all my handles on it because all of them, like most of them, are different, and I get really awkward when I say them.
Okay, okay.
So my dad is grabbing it for me. Thank you, Dad.
Well, you've got a full like I always say like like I go to a lot of shows, and my interviews we do three camera setups at the shows, right? So we've got two cameras going on, we've got the microphones, but
Hmm.
my wife also works the behind the scenes cameras as well. So I call her my production manager. So you've obviously got your dad as your production manager, which is
Yeah,
really awesome.
he's my production manager and my actual manager.
There you go.
Yes. So, oh, is it backwards?
I could no, I could see it. I could see it.
Okay.
Yes. There we
There's
go.
there's those, and this is my little graphic that I use for like my merch and stuff. It's got a little thingy on the back. I got it from UPS store and it just came with like a little stand and I'm like, that is so nifty.
Oh, nice.
Nifty. Okay. What an interesting word I chose.
It is. You went back to the future for that one and grabbed that one.
That was a good one.
What type of merch do you have out there right now?
Um, so I have a crap ton of stickers. I have some magnets. I have these manga panel things that I had designed a while ago. I've got some 8x10s and slam buddies. I do not have t-shirts yet because I've been so busy and it's hard to find a good place with good price.
Yeah, with pricing and the shipping nowadays, it's absolutely ridiculous. I
Yeah,
completely understand.
I should have t-shirts pretty soon though. We're
Okay,
looking into a place. So yeah.
get the merch because people are gonna buy it. The
Yeah, every time I'm at a show, people are like, "You have t-shirts yet?" And I'm like, "Not yet. I'm sorry. I'm working on it. I promise."
it's
Like I
it
have a little thing that says "coming soon" for t-shirts on my little merch thing.
Yeah, my best advice, and I can tell you for someone that goes to a lot of independent shows, get the t-shirts because I do see the wrestlers that sell them out. I mean, they're selling shirts like crazy now. Like
Yeah.
people will buy the merch. They will buy the
Hmm.
shirts for sure. So definitely get the shirts. We were convincing some of our friends, people we consider friends now in the wrestling industry, like, please buy your shirts. We will buy your shirts. And half of my closet
Real.
now is independent wrestling shirts now.
I have a lot of shirts. Like a lot of
Yes.
my friends, they're like, "Hey, you want a shirt?" I'm like, "Sure." And they're like, here. I'm like, no, I'm paying for it. You're not giving it to me for free. Absolutely not.
Right. Yeah. No, no, no. If anybody asks you for, like, that's the one thing I refuse to ever do is take merchandise for free from anybody. Like, I
Hmm. That crap's
100%.
expensive as it is.
Yes, exactly. Like, no, 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 no. No
Yeah.
freebies are given out. It costs money to get this out there.
Hmm.
Well,
Definitely.
Airica, you are doing some awesome stuff. The world is your oyster. You're young. You've got a lot of time to, get up and going. And I was actually just at WrestleCade this past November up
Oh,
there.
really?
Yeah, yeah, I went up there because it's like Thanksgiving weekend.
Hmm.
My mom actually lives up in North Carolina, so it's kind of like I went up to WrestleCade. Awesome event too, with like
Hmm.
tons of wrestlers out there and stuff. So really cool stuff. So definitely keep doing what you're doing because you're doing cool stuff. Your dad is doing amazing stuff with those. The way he edits those videos, the production. I'm not BSing anybody here. Like it's really well done. It's what got me to look up your profile and stuff like that and see what you're doing was catching one of those videos just randomly on Facebook one time. And I'm like, this is really cool. So you guys are doing great stuff, getting people's attention. So definitely keep up the good work.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And I know he appreciates it too, because he's smiling like a goofball over there.
Right.
Are smiling like a goofball.
Does he want to come on and smile like a goofball real quick?
He
No,
does
he
not.
doesn't. Okay.
He's
Okay.
like, I'm not gonna be on camera today.
That's fine. I thought I would at least extend the invitation.
I gotcha.
Well,
Oh, my
Airica,
voice cracked. Sorry.
that's okay. Nothing but the best. I'm gonna let you go because I know you have a busy life outside of everything else here. So,
Yeah.
guys, if you like interviews like this with your hero, Airica Demia, make sure you stay tuned in here to Toned In Entertainment for future videos. Subscribe to the channel. Do it. Go now. Do it now.